2, 1, get 'em!
This week's episode is brought to you by Salt Creek, some of the best steel and TSS on the market, and Kicks Industries. The Smoke Series is my favorite. Welcome back to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. My name's RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. We got a special guest with us tonight. We got Chad Wadsworth out of Wisconsin. South Carolina people got to put that Wisconsin on that. Which he's probably having, man, I must be talking to some Southern guy real bad, Southern drawl. But welcome to the channel. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
So,
How are you?
Man, burning up in this heat of South Carolina. This humidity's getting us, but we have had 2 cool days. So we're gonna take the cool 2 days over the devil's armpit any day of the week. It has been tough.
It's 60 degrees here.
It was 70 degrees when I woke up this morning. I don't know what it got up to, but it was pretty. It got a little humid today. But man, Monday and Sunday was rough. It was. I didn't even go out the house.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. But tonight we're gonna be. Yeah, it was. The temperature was like 96 with a heat index of like 105, something like that. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. It was literally just stay inside and do absolutely nothing. But tonight we are talking goose calling and some calls. We're going to talk hunting, and who knows what squirrel moments might come about, but let's get to know you. So who are you?
Yeah, my name's Chance Wadsworth. I'm from Wisconsin. I own Quill Creek Calls, and I love contest duck and goose calling, and more importantly, I love hunting ducks and geese, and love the outdoors. I've been doing it ever since I was really as young as I can remember. My dad would take me trapping. I started out trapping, and then eventually would deer hunt and waterfowl hunt with my dad. And then in middle school, that's where I did it alone and went off by myself and did it by myself. And over the years, my love for it grew, and I learned new things. Like I learned about contest calling. So then I started doing that in college, and in high school, I hunted the river with my buddy quite a bit. His parents had a house on the river, Mississippi River, and we did that a lot. Then in college, I started field hunting geese up here, and then that's kind of when I got into contest calling and took it to this level, and that's what I love to do. I travel all around the country to hunt and film and all kinds of stuff.
I wish I had the voice of the announcer for like the UFC and could like introduce you the correct way, like 3-time undisputed world live good. I can't do his voice. I mean, that's probably why he gets paid millions just to introduce anybody. So if anybody's listening, he is
Bruce
a 3-time. Yeah, if he was, here, just imagine his voice introducing a 3-time caller. So how did that feel?
The first one, their first one was just absolute happiness, just incredible feeling. And then the second one, I went there and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to be a one-hit wonder. And so I'm trying to do it again. And then I did it again. And then that's when I realized that I had an opportunity to do something that only 2 people have ever done in history. And I would be the third, which would be win 3 of them in a row consecutively.
Mm-hmm.
And That's when my guts really started twisting to win that third one. Uh, and thank the Lord it happened that way.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Hey, Jay Bird. Your Georgia Bulldogs are gonna have to get the bats going a little bit quicker. I'm watching the game because Jay Bird's a big Georgia fan. They pulled it out last night, but they going
Basketball?
college baseball.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the World Series is going on right now, and Georgia's playing Oklahoma. I know he's probably got. I see him in the chat, so I'm going to say he's probably got me on, but the volume is probably down and he's watching the game. But it's good to have everybody in there. So, what years did you win? When was your first one? And then obviously 3 consecutive would be whatever year that was.
My first one was 23 and then 24, 25. So it's pretty recent.
I got you. So if anybody don't know, once you win 3 times, regardless as if it's in a row or just 3 times, you're out. Three and out. So you can't compete in live anymore. You can compete in like duck calling. You can compete with the groups. I can't think of what group is, but I know when there's two people, and eventually you get to compete in like the master goose calling, right? Like the champions of champions.
If they ever do one for the live style,
Right.
they don't do one. They haven't done one yet for the live. But the open goose, they just had that in 2025. So last year they had the champion of champions. John Walls won that.
Mm-hmm. And he comes on a lot on the channel too. I keep telling him I'm gonna come up there and hunt with him, but
I mean, he is just incredible.
yes, all of y'all that blow on them competition stage, I don't even have that much air like to hardly walk upstairs, much less to keep a rhythm.
Yeah, it takes a lot. I mean it's years of practice and perfecting it, and yeah, it's something. I mean, even when I listen to John or Bobby or Lee or Austin or Bo or David or any of these guys that I contest call with, they're just at a level that's like so, I don't know, it's just easy on the ears. It's so musical. It's so enjoyable to listen to. Yeah, you don't want to be standing right next to them because it's really loud and it'll hurt your
Mm.
ears. But if you get back away a little bit and you just like listen and you just hear how methodical everything is and how flowing and rhythmic everything is, it's actually really nice to listen to.
I prefer the live also. It's more realistic. In duck calling contests when it's not the live, just the other competitions and they got that you got to do it just right, and ducks really don't sound like that. I mean that wah 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 wah. The live is so much better. Me personally.
Yeah, I totally understand. Like, and so there's 3 classifications in the duck calling contest. Well, technically 4 if you include cut down, but you got your street routine, which is what I'm pretty sure you're referring to. You've got your meat calling, and then you've got your cut down calling, and then you got your live calling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the street one, yes, absolutely. If I was to ever catch someone doing that stuff out in the marsh, I'd slap them in the back. You don't do that. How I like to, but I don't discredit street duck calling, contest calling, because I know how hard it is. It is
Right.
honestly one of the hardest things to do across all disciplines, duck,
Mm.
goose, and all the different categories of what you can compete in. Because how I bring the analogy is it's like a NASCAR race, right? We love NASCAR. Like NASCAR's super fun. What these guys are doing, driving 200 miles an hour around a track, they're not going to bring a NASCAR and drive on the streets. That's not what a NASCAR is made for.
Mm-hmm.
but you cannot deny what they are doing is absolutely incredible.
Absolutely.
So that's the way I like to describe it, is you would never apply it to the real world situation. However, it is talent for sure.
And they have unreal control of that call on the volume, because I mean, when they're blowing that hard, not to break open the call is unreal. I mean, they're pushing it to the limit, and you're getting right there to the limit and not going over, and that is definitely hard. But you know, the live is something different. You can change the way it's sounding. I mean, I don't know. Everybody likes their own, and plus regular competition, you always trying to. You don't know who the judge is, but you're trying to play their ear and trying to whisper them in. So it's kind of like you never know what the judge might want to hear that day either. So it's a whole let me hey little mama, let me whisper in your ear kind of deal. So
Yeah, it
go ahead.
yeah, live is I love them all. Like I compete in all of them. I work on all my different routines. I'm just very competitive. I also like I do these contests because for the certain category, like I know we got like X hunting and traffic hunting,
Mhm.
and the traffic hunting is where I think contest calling shines. That's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to, instead of be 80% successful or 70, successful meaning calling birds into the decoy spread and being able to shoot them, or getting birds into the decoy spread and being able to shoot them. That's what I'm defining as success. Uh, Being able to increase that percentage is what I'm trying to do. So the more tools I have in my toolbox, whether that be spinning wing decoys, jerk rig decoys, layout boats, A-frame blinds, layout blinds, boat blinds, everything is a tool. And I just want as many tools in my pocket to be able to increase that success as much as possible.
Right.
And that's why I contest call, because and it's summertime, like summertime waterfowl hunting. In my opinion, you get to be around, talk to people about ducks and geese and hunting them and what they did last year, what they're going to do this year, and if you're like me, like it's all I think about. You take that stuff away from me, and I don't do nothing else. I don't drink. I don't like really go. I mean, I drink, but like I don't go to the bars and party. I don't do fantasy football, or really, I don't. My wife and I don't even have a TV hooked up in the house. Like hunting and contest calling is all I do.
Yeah, that's how it is around here too. Right now, man, I'm in the stages of chasing kids. It is 100% kid chasing time. Um, Man, they say you'll miss these days one day, but I don't know, man. I'm tired, boss. I'm tired, but I've been telling people September is coming. September
Mm-hmm.
for South Carolina is early goose, and September kicks off a lot of goose seasons for a lot of people up y'all's way. I mean, obviously it gets colder up there. Than it does here in South Carolina. But typically, that's when waterfowl season starts up y'all's way. So, what goose is your favorite? I love some Canada's. Some people don't like call them Canadas. I call them Canadas. Whatever. Um, I really got to hunting some snows, and man, them things are fun to shoot too. We just don't get them in South Carolina. All we get is the regular residential geese that just stay here. But do y'all get a lot of snows and specks up that way?
You drive about 5 hours to my west, and you'll have almost every species of waterfowl you could possibly have coming down through the Dakotas.
Wow.
I'm about 5 hours from the Dakotas, but over here it's just big old Canada geese and some mallards every
And them
once in a
are
while. And
and
then
them are probably all migrant geese, wouldn't you say, towards y'all? I mean, I'm sure there's
yeah,
some residentials.
There's definitely some residents, but we also have that September 1st to 15th early season
Mhm.
as well. We also get, some diver species on the Mississippi, golden eyes, buffleheads, occasional, canvasback, maybe bluebills. Um, I've seen some mergansers around here, hooded mergansers, I mean.
Oh man, they everywhere down here. Whew.
Oh, really?
They usually all the way bad around here. Last year was so bad for South Carolina. We would stand around and be like, "Man, it sure would be nice to shoot a merganser right now." It was bad.
Oh, dang.
So how is the Mississippi right now up there where y'all are? I know there's sections of the Mississippi right now that's so dry.
Man, it changes so much. They have lock and dams, so the
Hmm.
Army National Guard has a bunch of lock and dams, and they call them pools. So, like, you have pool one, pool two, pool three, pool four, and there probably be 15 miles. It really depends on where it's at, but it'll be on average about 15, 20 miles between each pool, maybe a little less than that. But they are constantly changing the water levels, like, and it's been raining the last 3 days, so I'm sure the river's quite high in my pool. uh, but they'll drop it down, they do all kinds of stuff with it. It's been There's not been lack of rain here, so I don't think it should be dry where I'm at.
Well, that's good because we went through a drought. South Carolina and Georgia went through a drought for a month. I don't think it rained for a month around the house. It was bad. Georgia got real bad. They had a lot of fires down there in Georgia. But man, once it started raining, we have been getting a lot of rain, and especially around here, Louisiana, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and parts of North Carolina this coming week, Friday, we're definitely going to get a lot of rain and storms. So, if anybody needs to be prepared, it's that time of the year for sure. But what championship is the most memorable? You think it's the first one?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I would have to say the first one. Yeah, because I mean, it was just there was 30 guys in it. 9 of them were world champions and other, Team Goose, Live Goose, or Open Goose. And the previous year, I had taken fifth, first time out there. So this was my second year there, and I won it. So, like, it was pretty surreal. Like, it was. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe the feeling. Like, I still wake up and I mean, I think about it, but I also don't think about it because I'm so occupied and trying to get better at the other disciplines. Um, but yeah, the first one I'll have to say was definitely the most memorable and most exciting one.
So, when a caller is getting ready, a lot of times you randomly get drawn. You don't know who's going to be in front of who. A lot of times y'all are out in the room or out in the stairwells, and not at the main one. I'm talking about competing to get to the main competition. You got to get regionals and stuff like that. But you have to stand out there and you literally see the guys taking their calls apart, tuning them, like they got the sweats. Like, what's your normal? Okay, I'm fifth in line this time, and next time I'm 10th in line. What are you doing to try to calm yourself down?
I don't think about it until about when it gets to caller number four. When caller four, so if I was fifth caller four gets called up the stage, and then I get up. I don't talk to anybody. I stare down at the ground. I don't make eye contact with anybody. I clean this, like, I try to get my hands as dry as possible. I try to get my call as dry as possible, and I just have this routine where I just, like, I wipe my call off the entire time caller 4 is calling. I take a swig of water right when he starts, and then I'll try to get my mouth really dry after that, or like at least not like dry, but like no excess saliva, and I'll focus up, and then I'll stand over at the on deck spot, and he'll end his, and then I really lock in like when he's on his second come down. That's
Mhm.
about 15 seconds left of his routine, and I'm like, all right, here we go. And then it's my turn, and I walk out there. And I highly recommend never looking out at the crowd, if especially if like you're going for your first one. Don't do it. It'll really throw you off. Just try to like focus on one spot and just look that and just focus on that, and then just remember everything. Now, I'm a lot of guys that I compete with and myself were note for note. So like we literally do the same thing three
Mhm.
times in a row. Some guys don't have that down yet, especially if you're newer, but that's what I highly recommend, is becoming a note for note memorized routine caller, because it really just your adrenaline is pumping so hard that your body just takes over and it does it on its own. It's wild. It's like autopilot. It's wild.
Well, that's what how practicing for anything. They always say practice until you can't get it wrong anymore. But
Hmm.
you still have to fight with your brain and crowds and stuff like that. I mean, you're standing there listening to the guy before you, and a lot of times you can hear the other ones, and he's like, "Dang, they did good!" Like, and then try not to get in your own head. But I mean, that's pretty much any kind of sport. But what have you seen change over the years with calling?
As what do you mean?
Like what what you see change in the past couple of years before getting into it, now like the 3 years you got into it, and then like what do you see going forward this year? You see like social media driving new people coming. There for a while, a lot of the big names were getting out completely because they wasn't paying much money. You see money coming back into, the deals that's calling people in. You seen anything change on y'all's side that's maybe wooing people back to calling?
Yeah, like I think that contest calling hurt themselves. Like, and I'm not going to blame a particular person, because it wasn't a particular person. It was just the hunting community in general, right? Like
Mm.
I feel like most of us, I mean, yeah, we're doing this podcast right now, and you got to be a little bit um, technical technology based or whatever. But for the
Mm.
majority of people that just hunt, they didn't really want to get on the whole social media bandwagon. They were probably some of the last people to ever get on it. So, and that really, I think, hurt contest calling, because that's how marketing is done nowadays, is on social media, ads and internet and all that stuff. And now people don't have to go to these expos to get all the information about the decoys, about the calls, about the blinds, about the boats, and all this stuff. So there's no major reason to go to these expos like there was back in the day before social media. But it's still better to put your hands on something than to see it on the screen. Like, you would never purchase a vehicle just on the, I mean, some people do. Some people like that
Yeah.
risk. Some people will take it, but and that, to each their own. But uh, a lot of people like to go, and it's just we're social thing, like animals. Like we just like to socialize. So like that's another
Mm.
reason why expos are good to go to. You get to talk and meet new people, and share hunting stories and be around like-minded individuals. And I think that's why expos should. I don't think expos will go away anytime soon. And I, with Quill Creek, am trying to post as much competition calling content as I possibly can. I know Bay Country calls is as well, with John Walls as well.
Mhm.
Um, you know, and I see a lot of new kids interested in it. And the biggest thing I think is just instructionals on how to create contest calling. Now I know that there was a few back in the day on YouTube, but they didn't hit everything, and they contest calling has changed since 2000 till now. Like the complexity of contest calling and how it, like what it takes to get to that third round is, I mean, it's tough. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot. And I just think if there was more educational on how to do a contest routine. I mean, first and foremost, you got to get the basics down, the fundamentals, like everything you would do in the goose field, and make sure you're sounding really good. But then stacking those notes, making those sequences. That's really the bread and butter of contest calling, is sequences and stacking them in the right order, watching where you take your breaths. Hunting, especially if you're X hunting, you're not calling that much, right?
Right.
But if you're trafficking, and I don't know if you guys do this, or are you guys familiar with trafficking?
No, we don't have. And you talking trafficking like they're flying over you, and you're basically trying to get them. No, because we don't have the. They're not migrating. Pretty much, they get to North Carolina. That's where they usually stop at Outer Banks. They ain't coming any further. Like the Atlantic Flyway has definitely stopped a lot since Santee got rid of a lot of the grasses in the water. Like the ducks definitely have gone different places too. But I do understand with trafficking, you're talking about the birds that are way up there migrating, and you got to get some kind of volume up there to them. And plus, it's almost like a person, like we're driving down the road and we stick our head out the window. All that wind, and birds has got wind going too. Like, I mean, they're moving. I mean, if you've seen a flock of birds, regardless the size, 50, 60 miles per hour, easy, depending on which way the wind's blowing, they got ears too. They're trying to listen too. So to be able to call past where regular birds are flying and then be up there where they're trafficking, saying, "Hey, come down here," yeah, that takes a lot of air.
Yeah. And so, like, what I was saying is like the X hunting, you don't really have to watch your breath. Traffic hunting, you kind of do, because you got to like do a lot of calling, and sometimes you don't in a traffic situation. Just setting up a bunch of decoys is good enough, or flagging is good enough. I mean, you just got to read every situation. But like I said, I want to make my success rate in terms of putting birds in the decoy spread at 30 yards the highest possible percentage I can. And contest calling is one of those tools that I use. I don't use it all the time, but I do use it. So that's why I do it. And it's
I
fun.
got you. So, is there any new products that's coming out that help people? I know they could get on YouTube. Like, you think, are there sites that could help people learn how to do it? Like anything you know off the top of your head, like, hey, a new young person, where would you tell them to start? Obviously, everybody says YouTube because YouTube's got everything. But what would be your, if YouTube wasn't an option, what you would tell somebody?
So to find contests, I would say go to Facebook and type in competitive duck and goose calling contests, and it should have a guy calling with a GK hat on and a red light and white lettering. It'll say all that, and it's a duck and goose calling competitive duck and goose calling contest. That's where all the flyers are posted. There's about 9,000 people in there right now, maybe a little more, like 9.3 thousand. But that's where you go to find these contests. And then there's, like you said, YouTube is how I kind of figured it out. And then meeting these people that are better than me at the time at these contests, I would ask them questions. So when you purchase a call, you get instructional videos. You get 4 of them. One is how to do the basics, which is every single goose note, and puts a diagram in there with your mouth cavity on what your tongue's supposed to be doing. Then it comes up with 3-note sequences and 2-note sequences, and then there's another video that's how to tune your goose call. And then the 4th video is how to structure an open style goose routine. So that's one of the ways that you could get into it. Um, as for anybody else, I don't really know any instructional videos other than what I made on how to create a routine.
I've been around a lot of the guys at competition calls, at expos and stuff like that. I'm sure there's some people that you might not want to talk to, but for the most part, there's a bunch of friendly group of guys that always hang out. Like they hang out together and away. Like if you have a question, don't be afraid to go ask them. Be like, hey, I, even in our small state of South Carolina, you have like regionals that you win the regional, you get to go to Stuttgart, and you work your way up. But they have beginner ones even at them competitions, and I've seen a lot of times young kids going up to these callers saying, "Hey, listen to my routine. Can you help me out?" And I've seen the big names take the call apart, hand it back to the person, and say, try it this way. Like they put time, they want to teach the next generation also. So don't be afraid to talk to um,
Hmm.
the people.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now,
Yep.
obviously, if they're out in the hallway getting ready for the show, that might not be the best time. After, way before and after is the best time. Just go ahead and say that because they already stressed out. But yeah, these are just a lot of them want to talk to you. They want to get their mind off of the other people too, and that like you said, they just want to hang out and have a social time too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So let's talk Quill Creek calls. So was how long has it been around? Let's talk a little bit history on it. And what was your first call that you took to the competition? Was it one of your calls, or were you blowing for somebody else? Or
Yeah, the first call I ever took was a Molten Gear EX3. My buddy Tim Steele gave it to me, and Dive Bomb. The first ever Squad Fest was my first ever contest,
and I always hear
and
that as one really hot show.
oh yeah, that's a great show. I think everybody should definitely go to that. It's got all kinds of stuff, and they do a great job. Um, and then after we had been prototyping for 2 years, and then I had won my first live with a Molten Gear Triumph, and then after that, I really put the gear down on trying to make a, a prototype that I would use on stage, and then that's how we came up with the Mark One, and
That's
that's
pretty
what I
cool.
won my last two on.
So you're making your own calls, and you got your own. So you got anybody working with you? Like how big's you?
Just me.
Just you. Woo. Your hands full.
Oh yeah. Well, I just quit my job in December 31st. This year is my first year going solo.
Hmm.
Last year was really good. People are loving the calls, and yeah, I've always wanted to be in the outdoor industry and always wanted to work for myself, and now I'm finally doing it.
So let me pull up the website here, and I can pull it up on the screen here and share it out so people can see it and we can look at it together. Um, Here we go. So quillcreekscalls.com, and this is the main page on it. So what kind of calls are you selling? Because up at the top it's got turkey calls, duck calls, and goose calls. So just break it down real quick. What kind of calls?
So just right now, we only sell goose calls. I have this. Well, I put the turkey call list up there and the duck call list
Hmm.
up there because I do eventually plan on getting into turkey calling, and I'm already competing for duck calling. I've taken fifth in team world live. I won't sell duck calls until I win something that is prestigious. That I don't know. I just have this kind of requirement for myself to do that. So we won't be selling. I mean, we make them, we'll prototype them, test them, hunt with them, stuff like that. But I'm not going to sell them to the public until they prove themselves on the contest stage. Right now we have just the Mark 1, but this July 4th here coming up pretty soon, we're going to release the Mark 1D, which the Mark 1D is Delarin, and there is no paint fill. Yeah, if you look over on the side there, it'll say what it does not come with. So everything that it does not come with, the acrylic Mark 1 does come with. There's a whole bunch of stuff there, but it's going to be half the price of the acrylic Mark 1s. So
here's the Mark 1s.
mhm.
That's a really pretty call too. So you got different colors in them. Which one's your favorite?
I hunt with just a straight black, no paint fill call because I just don't want the geese to pick anything out. I contest call with black, no paint fill, and a green and an ivory. Like those are my three favorite colors, but that's what I like. And jade, I did contest call. So there's something about the jade color. It sounds really good. It sounds different than some of the other colors, and it's like a deeper, hollower, more live. And so that's the jade is what I call it, is the color I won the 2 worlds on.
A lot of
Was
people call them the old fashioned Coke bottle, the 60s and 70s glass kind of look.
Yeah. Is that the color that I've heard that before? It like Coke bottles were that color back in the day.
That's what they tell me. When I dig them up out of the yard and stuff like that, that's what they look like. Old sandblasted kind of glass. I did look. I am old enough to have gray. That I do know glass bottles, yes. But yeah, that's what a lot of people call that color, like a Coke glass bottle, like a sanded down kind of sandblasted glass. That's a pretty color right there.
Yeah, so that's micarta. It's a resin with, it's kind of like how I would describe it, as like a carbon fiber, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not. It's not carbon fiber. It's micarta. It's resin based. It sounds a lot like wood,
And
but
there's the
is
green to no fill.
way stronger than wood.
I mean that ivory's pretty.
That is the black and bronze and the ivory and copper are probably my favorite out of the royalty set.
I saw an orange one over here. I know some looked like they were out of stock, but there was a picture of an orange one somewhere. There's a 2-color.
Yeah, there should be an orange one in there down at
Yeah,
the
I
bottom.
saw it when I was scrolling down. Let's see. And I clicked on something else and the orange went away. There it is. There's the orange.
Yeah.
So what was that certified? I saw it. I clicked on it. So what kind of is this, the box that comes with?
Yeah, so that's how they come wrapped, top right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that card in the front there is actually an ink pad stamp that I do. And every call, acrylic call, is engraved with the date and the number in which it was done. And I only do 10 a day. So that's on the back. And then if you were to flip the back over, if you ever remember in high school when you would check out a book, it would have your name, the date you checked it out.
Yep.
Same thing. There's an owner history on the back of that authenticity card. So if you want to pass it down to your grandkids or something like that, you can go ahead and do that and keep the heritage.
That's
Or if
pretty
you're going to
cool.
sell it, you can see where it's been.
That's pretty cool. Do you have a picture of that on the back?
Uh, but I can. My shop is literally 4 feet to my left, so I could go grab one if you want.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's one good thing about show and tell. You can always show it live. Um, so different reeds. You got different sizes. A lot of people sand them. You got single reed, double reeds. Let's talk reeds. What do you, if somebody was new, what would you tell them?
Ever since I started using the 12 thousandths reeds,
Mm-hmm.
I won't go back to a full reed. You
Really?
can get, yeah, I mean, you can get everything you want out of a 12 thousandths reed, and it's easier to use.
So would it be have to be replaced more? Like what's some advantages and disadvantages?
I mean, I usually bubble a reed like every 2 days,
Mm,
and that was with 14 thousandths reed and a 12 thousandths reed. But I mean, maybe you're sacrificing some loudness, some crack, but I can't tell. I've already won a few. Well, that's what I won all the two worlds with. I've won a couple open contests with the 12 thousandths reed. So, I mean, it's much more enjoyable to use the call
I
with the
got
12
you.
thousandths. Opinion.
Which there's a couple pictures of them on there of the reeds, but I doubt that we would be able to tell the difference on a screen. Uh, Difference in them because that's just thickness, right?
Yeah, you would need a micrometer to be able to tell.
I got you. So on the site, there's some contact information. Pull it back up here. So people can get in contact with you. Um, Telephone number on there too.
No, nope, just email. Email is the
I
best way
got
to
you.
get a hold of me.
Yeah, and I saw where the duck call says coming soon. Join the list. You got a you send out any kind of marketing stuff that way.
Uh, I don't believe that it's well, like when we come out with a duck call, we'll
Mm-hmm.
definitely grab that list of people that is in there, but I don't believe we send. Maybe I'll have to see where the buckets are and see if
Right.
it goes into regular people that purchase or
Mm-hmm.
it's just a bucket all by itself with those people just waiting patiently for a duck call.
So, is there any expos or calls you going to this year?
I go to a lot of them. The thing is I don't set up shop there like a
Mm-hmm.
normal call brand would
Right.
because I really love calling and
Mm-hmm.
contest calling, and I just, if I'm not, I mean, I would like for the people to try calls and sell calls and stuff like that, but if I do that, then I can't really contest call at these events, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I love to do, and I'll find a way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll come up with like a pro staff thing
Mm-hmm.
where these people can come and they'll get discounts on calls if they work a booth once a year or something like
Right.
that.
So, which competitions are you going to be at this year? Are you
Oh, I'll
going
be
to
at a bunch.
Ducks?
Uh, that is in. I don't think that's the double read contest, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to
In Memphis.
be Memphis, correct? It's July 31st to August the 2nd. I think that's when that one is.
I think the week that that's happening, there's one like really close to my house, and like, well, it's not really close, but it's a lot closer than
Mm.
Memphis. It's 5 hour drive rather than a 13, 14 hour drive.
That's
So I'll be going with that.
that's the same distance from me. It takes about 14 hours to go and 15 to come back because of the time zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, I Memphis, Tennessee, is that far away from you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Really? I gotta look
Yeah.
at a Google map.
Yeah.
I would not have guessed that.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I'm right below Charlotte, so you got two ways to go. You got to go through Atlanta, down through Georgia and up, or you can go through Nashville and go through kind of like the little bit of the mountains, but it's the exact same distance regardless.
Oh, I see. Okay. So
So,
Memphis is all the way on the other side of Tennessee. Because I was
yeah,
like, doesn't Tennessee like touch South Carolina?
It's pretty close. Just on the other side. Yeah. Yeah. Memphis is all the way over there on the Mississippi too.
But you drive through a mountain range, the Appalachian. I thought the
Yeah, you go through some of the mountains to if you go that way. Nashville's a little mountainish. I wouldn't call it like big mountains, but there is parts of Nashville that's pretty much mountains. Lot of wineries and stuff up that way. They use that water coming from the underground and the caves and stuff to make all their batches with. So
so
if you got if
those
you got Google Maps still up on your screen, um, I'm going to show you where some pretty bad, and you probably know where it was at. Um, I had to pull it up myself, which I knew where it was, but I wanted just to. I can pull it up on the screen with you. So I'm going to share my screen here. So in Knoxville, so here we are in the Carolinas. When you would come up through Asheville, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, it's been 2 years. This hurricane season coming would be 2 years. This is where uh, in North Carolina pretty much got wiped off the face of the map with that hurricane that came in. It was just what they call um, uh, my brain went dead. Cherokee, Maggie Valley, all this area up in here just got hammered. Asheville, I'm talking about like whole communities gone. Like the flooding was so bad, it was terrible. Black Mountain, Bat Cave, Chimney Rock. The whole streets were gone. Bridges, like dams, everything was gone. So we would have to go through that, which took out Interstate 40. So for 2 years, you couldn't go down Interstate 40 because it was washed out, like gone. And
wow.
so we had no choice but to go through Atlanta and then Birmingham up to Memphis. But yeah, Nashville, that is a ride. But yeah,
Is there,
um,
is there turkeys there?
in South Carolina,
Well, that
yeah,
Asheville area, it looks very
oh yeah,
mountainous.
yeah, there is. Um, So, South Carolina, our population of turkeys were rough this year. There was about 10,000 turkeys killed. I think North Carolina was around 20, but most of North Carolina turkeys are over in this part of the state where it's flat and farmland. There is turkeys over there, but man, up in the Asheville, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, that's all like tourists. It's real big tourist, but yeah, North Carolina is mostly out here, and this is the Outer Banks where a lot of waterfowl out here. Uh, Lake Mattamuskeet is like one of the big name waterfowls. This is pretty much here, and then you got the Chesapeake Bay stuff like this, but pretty much right in here is the Atlantic Flyway. Now, anywhere else is birds that usually just live there. We don't get too much migrant birds. And then our poor friends down here in Georgia is wood ducks. Now
Our poor-
Georgia has a sweet spot down here. This lake right here. I want to go hunt down here. This is the bottom of Georgia. Like it would take, I think, 8 hours maybe to get down to there, but it's right
yeah,
on
but there's
the.
gators.
Yeah, so this is where the kings live down here, the old Cans. This is Can Central down here. This is where a lot of people go kill some cans.
Really?
I think they just like to migrate there, and that's that. This is uh, Can Central, but
Huh.
one day I'm gonna get down there to that part of Georgia. But I mean, it is almost touching Florida. But yeah, that's on my list. That I want to hunt this area one day. But I think this year's trip for me is going to be coming up here to Michigan. I think sometime around Thanksgiving, I think our trip is going to be up here to Michigan and hunt the lakes. Or not lakes, the one lake. There's so many lakes up there. I mean, I really don't know why they call that a lake because that's like a mini ocean.
Yeah, they're huge.
I mean, why didn't they come up with like we got creeks, we got reservoirs, we got ponds, we got lakes, and then there's ocean. Like there should have been some other word in between for them in Michigan. But yeah,
Right.
that I hope to get up there. That's my goal this year. My trip to maybe Michigan. That's what I'm planning.
Heck yeah.
But comes September. So September for South Carolina, we get early goose for the whole month of September. That is
Okay.
also opening dove season. So
Oh yeah, you get
yeah. So I hunt early goose. Like that morning, I hunt goose, and then in the afternoons, I get the dove hunt. Now we all seen the uh, reports of what they think birds are going to be like this year. Their bird reports, and some of the numbers are down, especially for the teal. But usually we have a 2 week at the end of September of teal season. Last year they took most of our days away and only gave us 8 days of early teal, which is in
Oh
September.
really?
Yeah, so during September, we have gators, and we
No, thank you.
yes we get to hunt mosquitoes the size of a teal out there in the water with the teal. So what are we going to get this year? Our rules and regs don't come out to July, so come pretty soon we're going to find out. Do we get 2 weeks? Do we get 8 days? Do we get any days? I don't know, but I keep telling people September's coming because I do love goose hunting, and man, I love early goose. I about got chased 2 years ago. I got chased by a skunk that got really close to me early goose hunting, and that joker chased me, and I was running through the field like a little schoolgirl screaming. I did not know at the time, even with me running, that skunk can stop and turn and spray 16 foot regardless of how fast I was running. So
That's crazy.
it was very crazy. Uh, I should have shot the skunk, but then it would have ruined where I was hunting because that smell would have been there for like forever. But you know, mm. So what's next for Quill Creeks? What we know you're working on some duck calls. So what's new out of the stables? Like what are you focusing on right now?
Contests. I'm actually trying to make a better gut. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll figure it out. Uh, we're gonna try to make some new guts. That's something. Mark Two's coming this fall. I'm trying to get that done before this fall so I can have some prototyping and all that stuff. What else? I mean, just trying to compete and trying to win every contest I go to and try to get better at duck calling, try to win a world duck something. Hunt, hunt as much as I can or scout as much as I can and hunt selectively the days and yeah, that's about it.
So what's one of the craziest things you've seen out in the goose field? I told you mine was the skunk, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to beat the skunk. What's the one of the craziest things you've seen out in the goose field?
I think probably the craziest thing I've ever seen is back in college. I watched a friend shoot. a goose at 90 yards.
Really?
He shouldn't even have shot,
Mm-hmm.
but he still shot it. That's probably, and he doubled on that. So he shot a goose on his first shot, missed his second shot, and then shot at it the third shot, and I think it was 127 paces from the
Wow.
blinds. Yeah, that's probably the craziest thing. Probably next craziest thing though, the thing that I like was when I rolled up on like a 40,000 goose, 40,000 geese in a feed. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah. And
That's the
that
most geese.
we saw a lot of that out in Arkansas. I mean, just tons of them.
Hmm.
What's one of the biggest lessons geese have taught you as a hunter? All right, Jay Bird, you be good.
The biggest lesson that geese have taught me as a hunter. It's not that big of a deal. I see so much of this fighting going on, arguing on social media. It's not that big of a deal. Just
Yeah.
it we're we definitely love it, but the people that you're arguing with, you probably have a lot more in common than some people that are fighting to stop us hunting.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. I'm I'm a very big proponent on that. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing like hunting isn't a contest, at least in my eyes. Like I'm out there to enjoy what God has created and harvest some animals to eat and just get away from all this craziness we got going on in our world. I
Absolutely
think
on that one.
just listen to some peace and quiet.
Mm. The sunrises are some of the beautiful things ever. I mean, that's one thing about goose hunting that I love goose more than ducks. I love to hear them, even if they ain't coming in. You can just hear them. You know, typically, unless somebody bumps them around here, they don't fly before the sun comes up. Right here, just South Carolina, they usually the sun's up a little bit. You can see more. You're taking it all in. You see other birds coming alive, and then you hear the geese. They start honking, from the ponds around before they ever lift, and it is a awesome sound. Like a lot of ducks, you never hear them jokers coming. They just on top of you, especially a wood duck, man. Them jokers come by like a 747 fighter jet and shoo, and all you hear is a little whistle or whatever. Geese, you hear them. It's kind of like a build up, kind of like you were saying they were trafficking. We don't really get them trafficking, but our geese here are residentials geese. When they get up, they already know where they're going. I mean, they already okay. To today's Wednesday, we're going to Billy's farm over there, and they go that way. And we do try to woo them our way. And that's the whole thing. You can hear them. You can see if they're actually even going to pay you any attention. If you could get one or two to look your way, then your odds are like even better. But ducks, they're so quiet. You don't get that like that adrenaline. Like, oh my God, I hear them. Here they come. Like the ducks here,
Hmm.
they're just on top of you, and you know if you didn't get to shoot, they're already gone and they ain't coming back. But geese, man, I love them. I just love the facts that how they honk and just interact, and you can hear them come off one pond and way over here they start honking. I mean, it literally sounds like they're talking to each other, like, "Hey, I hear you, Fred. I'm coming," kind of deal. That it just gets you going. or at least it gets me going. I don't know. I look forward to early goose season around here. What's your favorite way to
Oh,
cook them?
I love goose hunting. It's one of my we man, there's a couple different ways. So we like grinding them up and then adding, so it's 70% goose, 30% like pork butt or something, and making breakfast sausage with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I will cook them up medium rare breast, just cook the breast medium rare, sear the outside, and then cook on low for a little bit, get it medium rare, and then cut it into like nice strips, like steak strips, and then make fajitas with it. I like that way a lot. That's how I've eaten a lot of goose. Uh, we also, my buddy gave me a recipe. You dice it up into cubes, throw it in a crock pot, and it's like a goose stew. Oh
Mm.
my goodness. That is really good. It cooks the goose. You cream cream of mushroom, cream of celery, cream of chicken, chicken bouillon, couple different like thyme, rosemary, and bay leaves, and then corn, celery, mushrooms, carrots,
Oh my goodness, that sounds amazing.
and potatoes. I think you can add. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but like that's the basic. Oh, it's so, let it cook on low for 8 hours. Oh, so good.
Man, I make a lot of jerky with mine. I put a lot of mine. I soak them in salt water for a couple of days, and then the night before I put them in teriyaki sauce and then make jerky out of them. Usually, when I put it in in the room for a couple hours and it's finally dehydrating out, by the time I'm starting to put it in a Ziploc at work, like I realize I have no Ziplocs left. Like everybody's done took it because they've been smelling it all day. And all I have is like, I have like 2 geese in the dehydrator, and then I'm like, all I got left is one Ziploc. Well, like, what happened? Like, I don't know what happened. Like, they took it all. But yeah, what you said sounds good too. I ain't never thought about cutting it up in
It's
square chunks like that and in the crock pot.
oh, it's like a pot pie filling. It's all
Really?
thick and rich, and oh, it's so. Oh, and then you got to add chicken st chicken broth to that too.
Mm.
So like a cup or two of chicken broth. I mean, it's like, make it like grandma, right? Just like kind of whatever you want to do. I like a thicker soup or stew. Some people like a runny, liquidy. I don't. I like thick. So like I try to stay really a lot with the vegetables and the meat versus the liquids. But it's so good. I
Mm.
highly recommend
Now I'm hungry.
it. Yeah, me too.
So what you shooting? 12, 20 brand? What you using?
I shoot a 28 gauge.
I hear you. So I just got the new Rite 28 gauge. I shoot for Rite on the Bachelor program, and that new 28 gauge is pretty awesome. I have now acquired two 28 gauge reloaders, and I have reloaded. I guess it wouldn't be reloaded because it's brand new holes, but I have loaded up some new 28 gauge in copper all before the whole internet just blew up in the past 3 weeks on copper and what's legal and
Oh
what's
yeah.
not. It's just like, well, they're going to get that worked out. It's going to get worked out, but that 28 gauge is something else. I mean, it is. I, a lot of people on the channel is going to be like, you said 12 gauge was the Lord's gun, and I agree. The 12 gauge is the Lord's gun, but I'm going to be shooting
Hmm.
some 28 gauge this year, and I'm kind of a little hyped to as much smack that I talk about sub gauges in the past. I'm kind of having to eat some crow this year, so
Well, I
hopefully
mean,
the crow will be good. But a
yeah,
two
that's
2 pound lighter gun is something.
oh yeah, it's So nice. And now turkeys, I use 12, but
Mhm.
I ducks and geese, I use the 28.
So if you could hunt with anybody, living, dead, or in the past, future, if you could hunt with anybody, who would you want to hunt with?
Wow, that I've never been asked that question. That's a great question. That I haven't hunted with before. Like,
You could pull up somebody that you have hunted with, but who would it be? Like big name, little name, grandpa? Like who would be one or two persons that you would want to hunt with?
my dad,
Yeah.
he got
Uh,
me into all this. Yeah, my dad.
so I came in late to the waterfowl and turkey. I didn't start waterfowl or turkey. I think 39. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, maybe around 37, somewhere around there. Um, Duck and turkey hunting. So I came in the game late. I grew up. It was deer hunting. That's all. That's all we done. I never hunted anything with my dad. So I kind of can't say that one. But last year, um, I told my wife, my son's finally got to the age that, all these years of like, man, I can't wait till he's old enough to go hunt with me. Well, that year came, and man, I tell you, that was something else. That was definitely something else. Um,
Heck yeah.
I've hunted with Trevor. Uh, he was fun to hunt with. You know, a lot of the guys on the Big Honker podcast. I've been to Texas a couple times. That was cool. But I think once somebody from Duck Dynasty. I think if I had to go big name, I think I would have to hunt with somebody on the Duck Dynasty. I think that'd be cool, and it'd probably be Uncle Si.
Yeah, he's a character.
He trips me out, but well, we've been on an hour. Anything else you want to talk about before we start wrapping it up for tonight?
No, I appreciate the opportunity to be on here, and
Oh yeah.
thank you for hosting. And
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
we'll have to get you back on some more. I know you reached out before I went into the YouTube jail, and a lot of the people on my channel know that I spent 3 weeks in YouTube jail because I don't know, I made content and they didn't like it, and I couldn't even go live for them 3 weeks. But during them 3 weeks, I definitely learned how to push Facebook a whole lot more. And I've been learning Facebook a lot, making reels and stuff like that. And so if anybody hasn't followed me on Facebook, it's RD Reynolds Outdoors on Facebook. But how can people get in touch with you? We already said the website, but you can give it again for the people that join later, like social media, like how can somebody find more stuff about you?
yeah, quillcreekcalls.com is our website, and Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest. Yeah, we're on it.
Sounds good. Y'all follow along, subscribe to them. Like I said, expo season starting up. There's going to be a lot of calling contests. Uh, there's usually the bigger name competitions you usually can find live on YouTube. It is definitely something to watch. I like going. I do like the lives a little bit better, especially when there's two callers and they start feeding off each other. It's just like something unreal for sure. But
Yeah,
so
I love it.
so you can't do live anymore because of the three calls. So what are you going to try to tackle now?
The open, the
The
open
open.
goose. Yeah.
I got you.
Yep,
He
that's
he
the next
he.
one.
Maybe the next time we call, You know, when is the um I want to
World
say that
Goose.
yes.
It's no beginning of November.
I know that's usually opening weekend for one of them states up there because I know a lot of people usually go when the lives are going. They usually go hunting a couple of days while they're up there too. Uh, but you know, some guys they start focusing. So when do you going to start getting your sequence, start practicing and doing it in the bathroom and in the truck going down the road? When do you start preparing yourself?
I practice every day.
There you go. Every day. So y'all gonna beat him. You should have started yesterday. That's what the man said. If you gonna come for him, you should have started 2 weeks ago.
I, I practice it. I mean, like I said, you take this stuff away from me, and there is nothing else to me.
My man said if he loses his tongue, he's gonna be up the creek without a paddle.
Oh, don't even ever say that. Oh, that makes me scared.
Well, but well, I appreciate you coming on. I had a good time tonight. Definitely have you back on. Hopefully see you around one day. I'm gonna make it up to, you know, some of them expos up that way. The Shin. I'd like to go up to Shin Fest one year. Dive Bomb is pretty
Game fair is a
pretty
big
cool.
in Minnesota. Game fair,
Yeah,
if you've ever heard of that.
that kind of scares me up there though. You know, it's like downtown
Oh,
Minneapolis,
yeah.
ain't it? Isn't it downtown Minneapolis?
No, it's up north. It's kind of on
Mm.
the suburbs, but no, I don't fault you for not wanting to come up there because I mean it's a bunch of silliness. We just need
Maybe
to
one
bring
day I
back
get
this.
it cleaned up.
Yeah, we need to bring back spanking people.
I agree. I agree. But well, I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Like I said, if you're in the South, especially the lower part of the South, you need to definitely prepare for some bad weather Thursday going into Friday. Don't take these storms lightly, uh, especially for us on the coast, man. Hurricane season's just around. Time is now. Time to be prepared. Like he said, he ain't going into the calling contest unprepared. We don't need to go into hurricane season not prepared. So, um, y'all go check him out, hit him up, and I greatly appreciate all y'all tuning in tonight. And Chance, like always, man, I always close this in prayer before I end my show. So I'm gonna close this in prayer. So our Heavenly Father, thank you for everything you give us. Thank you for so many blessings on top of blessings. Be with our military as they overseas, protect them, keep them safe, keep their families safe, keep our country safe. With all the people that's in power, regardless of what political person it is, let them be guided in our best interest. Um, Keep us all safe during these storms. There's so many tornadoes going on up around Ohio, Chicago. Keep all them first responders. There's so many first responders and power company people and DOT. There's so many people that's leaving their homes that could be destroyed too to go help others. Keep them safe. Keep their families safe. Let them return safe. Thank you so much for the rain that is so needed. Thank you for everything you do, and thank you for sending your son down the cross and everything you do in our lives. Amen. So
Amen.
I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. Y'all go check his stuff out, and we'll see y'all next. Nope, I will not be on next week. I'm going fishing. So next Wednesday, I will not be on. So I will be wetting a hook. So count me off next week. But the week after, I will hopefully have a lot to talk about. You know, it's always a fishing story. This was the size fish. by the time I get on the air, the fish is going to be that big. So, you know how fishermen are. But I greatly appreciate everybody tuning in. And like always, man, here's a word from our sponsors.
Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC.